Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
I'm Jody Paul.
Welcome to episode 148. We have been to Shudder for this episode. We are watching the brand new Destroy All Neighbours, and also our movie from the vault is the Japanese splatter delight, which is Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. What a mouthful. I nearly got it wrong.
What's your mouth full of?
Bloody muscles and bodybuilders. Oh, no.
FNAF.
How the devil are we doing, guys?
All good. How's you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Coming from the house of ill with two children that are ill, so it's been a eventful week, but I've managed to cram the films in that we need to watch, which is good.
Sweet. I've had a good couple of weeks, mate. Busy, but I've watched a few little treats. I know you've seen my letterbox. But yeah, I sat down and watched a lovely film. I haven't done this in a while, but after the episode with Will last, I thought I wanted to watch some schlocky horror. So I went and found Alien Shark. So brilliant synopsis on this one. Not reading it. Just meteor lands, and there's a shark which is now infiltrated by the aliens that can control people on land and make them come in and eat them. Some amazing graphics in it. Yeah.
Sounds Oscar worthy, Paul.
It was pretty funny, to be fair, and I enjoyed it in a silly way. It was nice and silly. I also caught The Box. It's a bit of a thriller with Cameron Diaz and what's his face? James Marsden? Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's from like 2009, but it wasn't bad. It was sort of a bit sci-fi in the end. It had an interesting sort of Black Mirror question, you know, push a box and someone dies and you get £1 million, but there was so much more to it than that that I didn't expect. It's all right.
It's directed by the same guy who did Donnie Darko, wasn't it? Yeah,
it wasn't bad. I watched a load of other weird stuff. I watched The Favourite, which is not really worth talking about, but it was great. I just watched it because of Poor Things and stuff like that. The director saw the other thing that he did, the other one. I'm going to watch Lobster as well at some point. It was good. It's all right. It's very weird. Like he's obviously got a style. Yeah, that's me.
What?
I only watched one kind of horror film. I've watched a lot of movies actually in the last couple of weeks. I managed to catch Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a fucking real life horror story.
Well, that literally took you a whole fucking 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, very, very good. Absolutely, thought it was an absolute masterpiece. However, I did catch Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, what, you rented it or?
No, I watched it. It's shit. So glad we didn't do it for the pod.
Highest grossing horror movie of last year was shit.
I don't know what to say. It's like
our young, you know, that's it.
I mean, I gave it 2 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. I think it's more of a 1. The only reason I pushed it to 2 was because of Matthew Lillard, and that's about it. But it's just so predictable. The kills are pretty uneventful. It's very, very tame. Very tame.
How does it stack up to like Willy's Wonderland?
Willy's Wonderland's better. It's just because of the comedic value of Nicolas Cage, but this just doesn't. Even that kid from like Hunger Games, there's just nothing good about it. It's like there's even some dodgy CGI in it, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, I think people just went because of the whole thing behind the games and and that's it. And I think also it's aimed at that age group that's younger. It was just not scary at all. It just did nothing. It was just really predictable, and it's a real shame because I was hoping it would shock me because I went in with it with really low expectations, but yeah, it was shit.
Thank you for taking the bullet on that one.
And that's all I watched. Yeah, Jordy Paul.
So no, I didn't really watch a lot, but I went on a bit of a Hannibal Lecter-a-thon. So I watched Silence of the Lambs and I watched Red Dragon and I watched Hannibal.
Are you planning on murdering someone or something?
Getting some tips.
Not after the last time. Yeah, so no, obviously Silence of the Lambs is a masterpiece. Red Dragon, enjoyable enough, but nowhere near as good as Manhunter. And then Hannibal's a bit Ridley Scott daft fun. So no, mate, I enjoyed it, and obviously watching Anthony Hopkins play that part is amazing. So yeah, and that was it, guys. I didn't really have much time for anything else. So
none of you fuckers watched Suitable Flesh.
I did. I tell a lie. I've watched half of it. Yeah.
Okay, getting through it.
I saw that on Shudder, and I chose not to because obviously we all share the same Shudder account. So it was saying continue, and I'd seen someone had watched half of it. Must have been mine. So I thought, I don't want to. I don't want to be like, delete, just send that to the back.
It doesn't matter. I can remember where I was at.
Yeah, I constantly do that to you boys whenever I see one.
It's funny, really. Every time I go on to the ones that Butcher's been on, it's always at the sex scenes.
Do you know I could get away with that scot-free because you automatically assume it's Butcher?
Yeah. Maybe it's not.
Brilliant.
Nice one. Should we get on some news then? You've normally got about 10 million pages worth, so
I haven't been very good recently, but this time I've got some. There is a lovely little poster which I thought I'd bring to the. I'm sure you've all seen. If not, I'm going to send it your way now. The Beetlejuice poster.
Now I want to ask you a question on this. Is this an American poster?
What have you seen it then?
Yeah. Because I was just thinking about the date, because obviously it says 9/6/24. So I'd imagine
it's due out in the autumn. So yeah, it's September.
It's September. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that feels right. Beetlejuice.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Looks nice tone to it. Nothing more. But other posters have been about. There's been a bit of a weird thing on social media this last week on a film called Longlegs by Osgood Perkins with Maker Monroe and Nicolas Cage. Anyone caught this?
Well, you know who Osgood Perkins is, don't you?
Remind me.
I'll give you a clue.
What, the remake of Psycho?
No. Mr. Paul Stevens, can you enlighten him?
No.
Oh my God. Who's Norman Bates?
Anthony Perkins. Oh, it's his son.
Yes. Fucking hell. You both have your horror cards redacted.
Hang on, what? So that's Norman Bates' son? What?
In real life?
Anthony Perkins' son, not Norman. The real person, the actor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my Lord. Lord help me.
So, right, the actor from Psycho.
Yes.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, alright. I won't do very well in the quiz. But yeah, anyway, it says 4 neon posters, and it looks a bit serial killerish. They're very weird and neat, sort of arty, and it just looks quite interesting. I love Maker Monroe, and I like Nicolas Cage, so the two of them together, bring it on.
Oh, you need to go and watch the teaser trailer.
Go on,
the teaser trailer is fucking weird. So
yeah, it looks bonkers. I've got more, but I'll let someone else take the mantle now.
Well, I only have one bit, so I'll just say it. So I just thought it was quite cool. So the hotel in America, somewhere, that inspired Stephen King to write The Shining. So there's another one they filmed in, but I think it's called the Stanley Hotel. And Blumhouse basically has put inside the hotel, they put this like museum dedicated to horror. So from like all the stuff they've done and like props and sort of, and they put this like massive exhibit in it. And I thought that was quite cool. Not that we'll ever get to go, but if anyone's listening wants to pay for us to go, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've had a look. I sort of had a look at this because obviously it's open still. The hotel, the whatever the overlook it was, I can't remember what they called it now, but it's obviously a ski resort and stuff like that. You can go there and they've got some interesting runs. But again, that would be a bucket list to go and stay in that hotel for even a night. I'd take that, but like for a good holiday. I'll speak to Sophie.
Do you know what? You got to tell me if you go, because I'm going to go as well. I'm going to scare the shit out of you. I'm not going to tell you I'm there, and I'll just be like, Paul!
It's on the bucket, mate. Trust me. If I get, unlimited cash, then I'll be heading that way. All right, Matt, you got anything?
I was going to talk about the long legs social media stuff, but obviously we've had a chat about that, but that does look fucking weird. But I just noticed another bit of news that, that movie by David Dasmalchian that's coming out called Late Night with the Devil?
Yes, it got dates.
It's been rated an R for violent content in America, so it sounds like it's drumming up to be a good one. I literally cannot wait for that. That looks
based on a story about a late night presenter or something like that, right?
It's about a host of a late night talk show that descends into a nightmare after they do some sort of exorcism on live TV or something like that.
Sort of like a similar Ghost Watch or something like that.
But mate, he knows his horror, so he's not going to fuck it up. But the poster is fucking immense. I'll post it on social media, but I'll send you guys the poster as well, because the artwork's quality. It's like proper like 70s. I'll ping it over to you now. Have a look at it. Okay.
You guys seen the latest trailer for Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I'm really liking it.
It made me happy.
The short like teaser, I was like, it looks a bit ropey. And then when I saw this one, I was like, this looks fucking awesome.
Paul Rudd's on.
It has all the right beats to it. Just even the little funny one-liners and stuff. It's just that's just Ghostbusters. And then old Pecky Peck turns up.
Yeah, I know. And in that, I'm guessing he's the mayor of New York then.
Yeah. He's obviously from Lenny.
I love that one bit where there's some kind of ghost coming towards them, and I think it's what's his name? Bill Murray's character. There's a Bankman, isn't it? He goes, what is it he says? He says something like one tall,
cold, horny woman or something.
Yeah, like coming straight towards us. And I was like, that's just such a line he would say. It's so brilliant. I can't wait for that.
Does look good. In a Violent Nature, another teaser trailer for this has come out, which is some one that's absolutely smashed Sundance this year, and it's sort of a slasher movie shot from the killer's perspective. Ultra violence, I've heard. Some very fucking different approach to movie making. I mean, it throws back to Friday the 13th and stuff like that. So
apparently there's loads of stuff going on about. I don't know why, but they're saying it is a slasher, but it's just completely blown the whole genre apart. That's all I keep reading. Yeah.
There's not much to go on the teaser trailer, which is pretty cool. It's just literally maybe a floating body in a lake. It just is not much to go on. It's great. It's good marketing. I think for this Long Legs and this movie, they both done pretty well. There was some other bits. I'm staying close to 28 years later. It's been picked up by Sony. So that has got legs at the moment, along with the long legs. It's got legs. So yeah, we will keep watching. I think it mentioned as well that Cillian Murphy's been brought on as a producer. I think that said that.
Of course it has, because he can make some big bucks, even more big bucks.
That's to get funding when he wins his Oscar for Oppenheimer. So they'll be like, oh yeah, give him all the money. So.
Yeah. So there we go. Some bloody good news.
I have one more bit.
Oh.
Hot off the press, breaking news, I just remembered. So, obviously, Marvel, acquired, obviously all the rights to the Alien franchise with their comics. So they've done, I was reading this, actually sounds really cool. I might purchase it. I haven't purchased a comic in a while, but this one sounds cool. So they've applied their, Marvel's What If?
Yeah.
So they've applied it to the Alien universe. Specifically Aliens, and it's what if Carter Burke survived?
Nice.
So remind me.
Carter Burke's the Paul Reiser's character, who is he's the the Wayland guy who
He's
gets
the
rid of
arsehole.
He's
In
the
the
arsehole
first-
that tries to get them
Yeah.
impregnated.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I just need to picture him. That's all.
Yeah, because you never actually see him die. So it's like one of them things. What if he survived? So I think the premise of it, he's actually like living on like some backwater asteroid, and like he's his daughter's like estranged from him and stuff. But he's sort of like trying to win her favour, but he's actually still a twat, basically. So yeah, so that sounds really good. And actually, it's been written by Paul Reiser and his son. Which
No way.
is quite cool as well. So yeah, it's definitely something to look out for. And I might get that because it sounds cool. I think it's getting released in volumes. I'm sure the issue. What's it? I was waiting for the trade to come out, but yeah, that looks cool.
Well up for seeing that. That's interesting. That. Oh, cool. Nice one.
All right then, guys. Shall we start the main review then? Right then, guys. Shall we kick off the main review?
Let's do it.
Hey, how's that band going?
It's mainly me these days. I just want to finish my album.
You have been trying to finish this album for 3 years.
What is this? It's a progressive form of prog. I've been calling it prog squared. The only way I listen to your music
is if you tied me up at gunpoint and you forced me to.
And don't play it here again or you're fired.
What's going on?
I think we have a new neighbor. What is up with this guy? I think we're living next to some kind of maniac.
I am now living in your head rent-free.
It's just driving me crazy.
Oh, you're headed into chaos.
What?
Blood will be spilt.
You gotta stand on your own 2 feet and say, "Get out of my kitchen, cause I'm cooking!"
William, use your demons. Don't let them use you.
So you've killed somebody. Relax. Just need to know how to get rid of a body.
Hello, Willie.
I'm not a mass murderer. I'm a mass manslaughterer.
It's time to make a hit record.
I'm alive.
Shut up!
You didn't hear that, did you?
You yelling shut up at nobody? Yeah, I heard it was very loud.
That is not what rock and roll is all about.
What's wrong? You're a loser and you're gonna die a loser.
Now that was rock and roll.
Stop. Just be cool. And don't murder anyone else.
So, we have been to Shudder for this episode, and we will be reviewing Destroy All Neighbours. Little synopsis first. A struggling prog rock musician, William Brown, finds himself living a nightmare when he accidentally kills Vlad, the neighbour from hell. Wow. What do we think about this one then, boys?
Butch?
I mean, I enjoyed the first 45 minutes of this. I found it quite. In the middle, there was some good from this. It's not all bad. I enjoyed some of the humour, the shtick. Some of the special effects weren't too bad. I liked Vlad. I really did get on with the Vlad character, and I wanted more of that. It didn't stick the landing for me, but it wasn't a bad journey. I quite liked it. Production wise, it was pretty good. It didn't look too schlocky. It sort of reminded me of that one that I watched. Was it when Dave found a maze or something like that? Do you remember that one? Where he goes into like a little cardboard maze and
I've not seen that. No, I haven't.
That's good. That's better. But yeah, it sort of reminded me of that. Yeah, not bad. Right,
Mr. Stevens. You gonna use your catchphrase or?
No.
Ooh.
I'm not. Well, I don't know, guys. I still don't know really what to make of it. I think it was a film that I don't think they knew what they were making at the same time. It was a film that sort of threatened to be something, then it went into different things, and then it came back to certain things. And yeah, I think Butch is right. It definitely didn't stick a landing. It just sort of stopped, and I was like, oh shit. But it had some strange charm to it, which it did, and I don't know what it is about it. There was bits that I was like, oh god, this is terrible. But then there was bits that I thought, and I found myself going, ah. So yeah, I don't know. So no, I'm not going to use my catchphrase for it. So, yeah. But I can't say I particularly massively enjoyed it either. It's going to be one of them.
I don't know. It has got some good things about it. I'm not going to completely destroy it. Sorry about the pun there. But it's so, yeah, I don't know. It's a real weird one because hats off to Alex Winter because literally he is literally unrecognisable in all that makeup. I think the special effects were really good. However, there was some dodgy CGI thrown in there, a little bit of blood splatter in there, which is one of my pet hates. Just use the real stuff. The cast is really weird, because the main guy, like Jonah Ray, he's like, I don't know if you've ever seen Mystery Science Theater. He's like he's a massive guy in the podcasting world as well. But there are things that it seems like there were some really good ideas, but then it was just like you said, Geordie Paul, thrown all together. And I think that got lost along the way. It's like, oh, let's now do this. Oh, what about this? And there's some really good bits, a bit too comedic for me. But I did like some of the one-liners were quite funny, but it just slightly annoyed me a little bit, and it took a while to get running. But
he's done, Jonah Ray, you're right. He's done Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Yeah.
He's in Suitable Flesh. So I don't know. His character kind of didn't annoy me like that. He just felt like a bloke that had been dumped on. One of those things that just haphazard, like he said, he's more a man story. It's all like a sort of accidental, tomfoolery of sort of circumstances that sort of get him into trouble, I suppose. And I didn't know that fucking Alex Winter was Vlad because he had another cameo later as a cop. So I assumed that was his cameo. But the fact that he was Vlad.
His lawyer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it, a lawyer. Yeah.
Lawyer, yeah, sorry. But yeah, but it also had, what's his name? Kamal Nanjiani, who was like Eternals. I butchered his name, I'm sure.
I love the fact you chose out of all his movies, Eternals. I love that. It's also got, did you see it's also got Randy Heller? And you know who she is?
No, Matt, because I'm useless today.
She's from Karate Kid.
Who the fuck is she in Karate Kid?
I think is it his mum Lucille? His mum Lucille?
Yeah, it is the Karate Kid mum. Do you know what? I was literally like, I was supposed to go and check that because I was like, sounds like the mum from Karate Kid, and it was.
Because I was like, I reckon I had to look on IMDb, but I was like, I recognise her from somewhere, I really do, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then I found her, and I was like, that's her. But it's got loads of pull. It's got that other guy, that Thomas Lennon, that's in like loads of different like comedy movies, like 17 Again and I Love You Man, and he normally comes up as the kind of friend or bit part. He's in loads of stuff.
Directed by Josh Forbes, and I just feel like whoever the producer on this is just like absolutely. I mean, Alex Winter was a producer on this, and they just pulled a few good names into it, probably just for like, let's have a bit of fun. Let's work while we can, because it's got to be independent horror, so it's got to fit into that like loophole of them being able to actually do stuff. And I imagine you're going to see a few of this where there's like independent horror, but people still want to work. They get to do this, and I think it's a good bit of fun. It's definitely just. I thought Vlad was a troll, and I didn't really understand what he was doing.
Yeah, it set him up. This is what I'm saying about the film. It set it up to be like almost like a monster movie, because I thought, oh, he's like possessed, or he's like you said, a troll or something. And then the fact, like, because when we first meet Vlad, he's sort of like humping the bloody settee down the corridor, and then he like looks round and he looks like a creature, and he's scared of him, and there's loads of noise going off in the apartment and stuff. And so I expected that to be, it's going down like a monster type of thing.
It did really look like the makeup was the same person that did like all the Leprechaun movies or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. But then it turned into, and like, obviously you get to the point where this guy's like a radio, like a producer or an album. You don't really get, I never got a feeling he was like an artist.
He's a sound engineer. He was a sound engineer.
Yeah, but I didn't get a feeling he was like working on his own stuff. And that's where sort of at the end it got a bit like,
that's how it started.
So you're writing an album?
I feel that's how it started.
Yeah, but I thought he was just mixing a track with somebody. I didn't think he was. And then when he went to the studio, I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely in the background. He's not actually doing an album.
Quite intelligent storytelling in it, like you've got is basically his idol. He's asking for a croissant all the time. I thought that was quite good.
It annoyed me. They kept going croissant.
But,
fuck off.
But some of the bits, like the choppy bits, the fun bit, the little fight where he's like, with the weights and like, he's obviously pulling him into sort of trying to kill him and all this sort of stuff. I don't know. It was just schlocky. It was fun.
The charm I was talking about earlier was their little band of like, dead monster gang. Like,
yeah.
Sort of like the pink Goonie type of thing they had going on.
I could have seen more of that. I didn't, the crescendo, I didn't really need that, but I could have seen more of that quite happily.
My favourite part by far was the electrified lady. Like, literally, that puppet's like, oh shit, like, let's just put a bit of animatronics in the face. And we'll just, like, open and shut her mouth. It's amazing. I love that.
Advocate for practical effects, so they did a good sort of mix, I thought, with it. Yeah, I really got on. I thought it was all right. Unfortunate series event. He's a bit of a dope, and he's the sort of character that just gets shat on and that sort of thing. But all in all, like,
you're rooting for him. I was never rooting for him. I didn't like him.
No, I don't think he was likable either for me. It's just like, this guy's an idiot. And then it's just like, you don't know if he's actually murdering these people or he's not. It's kind of like, it's a weird one.
Well, he's a serial manslaughterer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's alright. For a Shudder movie, mate, it was just good fun.
Yeah, I'm not slagging it. I'm just sort of, it's a film with its problems, Paul. Like, that's the thing. It's, I think if like you said, if someone wants just dumb fun, put this on.
Yeah.
But it could have been a bit, like you said, it could have, with a bit more thought behind it. And I know, like, you argue all the merits of a film like this, but with a bit more thought behind it, it could have been really, really good. And like you said, if they got the gang of killed people together quicker and went on a few more little escapades with them.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
he could have went and, like, they could have gone to a mall to pick up instruments for their thing and, like, done shit in a mall and had, like, some funny set pieces around that type of stuff with them all, like, trying to help, but they end up killing more people. And by the end of it, he's got, like, an audience because he's killed that many people. There's that type of stuff where it could have just gone, but it just stopped. And, like, I don't know. And, like, the relationship between him and his missus. Obviously, she's found him with dead bodies. Then she comes back and there's no dead bodies because the pigs have eaten them. And then the police draft her in, and is she still in love with him even though he's murdered all these people? And she's trying to help him out even though she doesn't want to be there because she's a bit like, oh well, they've just dragged me. I don't really want. It was all a bit weird.
I don't know. It's a very Evil Dead 2 sort of thing in a vein of that. Considering what we're watching later, it had that sort of like Evil Dead charm.
No, if it was Evil Dead was a comedy show, maybe.
Yeah.
Like dead comedy. No, I don't agree with that. Sorry.
Similar.
But it does kind of make sense, Mark. Like you said, it's Mystery Science Theatre. I didn't realise that, so it does actually. It was like watching an episode of that.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of that stuff anyway, but like it was sort of.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an American thing. It's not really big over here.
Okay.
So maybe that is that type of humour which doesn't land with the British sense of humour, darling. But that weird American sort of. Yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I found myself chuckling a bit.
Good start to the year. Definitely potential for top 10 material for the end.
Well, if that's the case, it's going to be a really bad year, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I did have a feeling that Mr. Butch was going to love this one. I was like, it's got him written all over it.
He loves
his shit.
Loves the strong word, but I didn't mind it.
Did you like the drums getting played by the slimy appendages?
Yeah, I was thinking every time you turn the music knob and stuff, I was like, is that his cock or is that a part of the intestine? I was so, if it was his cock, I would have probably give it an extra point because that would have been funnier. But there you go.
What we wanted from this one, I suppose, is more monsters. Really, that's what we want. More.
And a slightly more complex.
The title didn't fit the film, did it? Really, Destroy All Neighbours. It wasn't.
No.
It just I don't know.
Just destroy 2 neighbours.
It didn't really destroy them. Do you know what I mean? It's like if it was kill all neighbours. I don't know.
There we go. Destroy All Neighbours. How would you put a number on this?
I'll go straight in. I'll say 5 out of 10 for me. It's all right. It's worth a watch, but don't expect anything amazing. And if you're not used to kind of weird horror, then comedy horror, then I wouldn't watch it if I were you.
Yeah,
I agree. 5 out of 10 is better than Night Swim. That's his biggest
straight down the middle.
Better than Night Swim.
I think straight down the middle for me. Destroy All Neighbours, 5 out of 10.
Fucking after all that.
What? I didn't think.
I thought championing it all the way. You give it 5 out of 10.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't worth more than 5. It's a bang average movie. Doesn't mean it deserves more than a 5 out of 10. 5. This is the difference between some 5s. This is a positive 5 out of 10. Sometimes I'd give 5s just because I'm fucking pissed off. I am happy with this movie, but it's definitely a 5 out of 10.
If you could give half marks, it'd be 5.5, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 5.2. There we go. Right, Destroy All Neighbours. Next episode, we probably will be getting to the cinema to watch Baghead, I believe. So that'll probably be our next review. So hopefully people have been out to see Bad Boy with Freya Allen from The Witcher. Other than that, let's move on to our movie from the vault.
Okay, so those of you who listened to last episode will know that Will, our special guest, picked this week's movie from the vault, and it is a film from 1995, known in certain circles as the Japanese Evil Dead, and it is the one and only Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. It's a really quick synopsis. Trapped inside a haunted house, a bodybuilder must save himself from a gruesome ghost, hell-bent on revenge. Okay.
The smallest house ever known to man.
Oh, I think houses are quite small in Japan, so...
And if we're going to be honest, the smallest bodybuilder ever known to man.
Certainly, but I mean, what a fucking poster. What a poster and what a title to a movie.
I mean, the poster is incredible, Paul. It is.
I don't know about the title of the movie. I don't know. I'll give you that one.
So this movie starts with, the whole thing for me. I'll just give it a quick roundup in terms of what I thought on it. I liked it.
Don't go on all day. All right.
Nah, I liked it. I liked how it reminded me of the Evil Dead. I loved the indiness of this movie. The special effects were fantastic for what budget they had. I just think it was just so one of those movies that was just so badly put together that it just made a fucking great movie for how much probably made it for a tenner. Yeah, this one appealed to me.
Geordie Paul?
Well, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's an hour long, right? Which that is very rare. And I thought after the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh my God, will you just get on with it? Please, God, just get on with it. Because I was like, what is about to happen? I thought I was going to watch 45 minutes of just talking and then 15 minutes of just mentalness. It didn't work like that, but by the end of it, I actually did appreciate it for what it is. Because, oh my God, we talked about Brain Dead a few weeks ago and how much shit you can throw at the screen, right? This was another example of it, of how much shit can you throw at a screen, right? Using a video camera and some fake blood and some really questionable animation. But for what it is, guys, it's probably a big example, and I think this is probably why Will picked it. It is a very, very good example of low budget guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah.
But done quite well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not going to say it's my favorite film in the world, guys, but I did enjoy it. Matt?
So, I was like the first 20 minutes of this movie, I was like, I'm not loving this, and I so wanted to love it. The graininess of the filming, the constant footsteps on the floor making that noise, the booming sound was absolutely so annoying. I don't know. I couldn't not listen to it. And then the ball started to roll and I was like, fuck me. This is amazing. Just everything about it just went batshit. And I love the fact that, like, it was just all basically just a Evil Dead remake, but they managed to find a slight little different way to change things here and there, which was fantastic. And then when I looked into the background of it, because I was really interested in that side of it, that's when it opened up a whole load more doors, like, of how impressive it was and how impressive it is. And from the moment where I'd say where the first kill is, I'd say that was it. It just went crazy. And I have so much, it's so much respect for a film like this.
Yeah, you sort of remember watching, we watched recently, a one shot of the dead.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of like you can see the evolution of sort of like Asian horror in terms of that guerrilla horror making and where they sort of got that idea. It has to stem from a movie like this. The storyline.
Yeah,
as it goes.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
The storyline as it goes is, there's a surprise phone call for this beefy bodybuilder that is working out, that is trying to show off his small little body that he's got. He agrees to meet his ex-girlfriend, isn't it? Who researches haunted houses. And they are accompanied by a professional psychic who inadvertently, because the psychic's there, wakes up what was once hidden by the bodybuilder's dad of what he described as his crazy girlfriend. But, you know, if we're going down that deadite sort of route, you know, she's clearly sort of that, you know, brain dead, some kind of dead possessed creature that won't die. Unless there's like nothing left.
Or is it a possessed necklace?
Or that necklace.
What's all about?
That necklace was fantastic.
Essentially, her spirit is in this necklace after getting. Now, can I just, before we go like any more further, let's just go back right to the start when it shows. He's obviously leaving her. His dad, or I thought it was his granddad, but obviously it was his dad. His dad is leaving his mistress essentially for his family. And then that's what the gist of it. And she's like, "You can't leave. You belong to me," right? So his dad's obviously probably like the villain in like the fact that he kills her. But I would argue that's pretty much self-defense, seeing as she's about to stab him in the face with a knife, and he's struggling with that, and then like he stabs her, and then she obviously comes back, and then he smacks her over the head with is it a shovel?
Yeah.
And then obviously hides her body. So that's where the spirit's obviously waiting to be like exact revenge on whoever.
Yeah, and the psychic sort of gives it energy even more. It's just a balls to wall fun when they're in that room and in that sort of house, the flat. And there's like really weird little shots. There's like a little creepy ghost. You remember there's like the little creepy ghost like on someone's shoulder? There's just like little weird little bits every now and again.
I thought that was quite creepy. Like when it does that it did that flash thing, and it was just like all you see is this. It's almost like an image, not really. It's not filmed, is it? It's a photograph.
Yeah.
And it's like a still shot, and all you can see is this like crazy kind of woman demon face looking over his shoulder. That put a little bit of a willy up me.
Ooh. You had a willy up, yeah, did you? Woo!
Just a little one.
So I don't know, just the whole fucking fight scene and like that sort of, you know, just battling and chopping and the fucking some great stop motion in this as well. With that use of the necklace when it went from like the nose into the eye, I just thought that was fantastically shot. Some lovely little stop motion stuff.
And there was some terrible stop motion in there as well.
There was also terrible.
Just to balance it. That blobby thing on the table.
It was barely stop motion. I mean, there was very, very, very bad animation bits that were barely animation. Just thrown in for good measure.
They tried to slow down the axe throw, for instance. They just didn't. I love that stupidness, though. Do what you can with what you got. And it's sort of like, if you need to rattle some limbs around on a bench, then sure. And then if they need to suddenly, you know, a hand becomes the legs for a head and a leg. Was it, you had a hand, didn't you have a hand foot and a hand head at one stage fucking battling?
But what I did, I loved that little head bit with the hand, because you could just tell it was somebody's head with the hand like wiggling the fingers underneath. I thought that was brilliant. But I did like how, because it started so quite like serious,
dry,
and like really like slow and dry, and then it fully. What I did like about it didn't try and be serious, even though the stupid, they fully embraced this is going to look a bit shit, so we need to embrace the silliness, because then the characters just became.
But that's it. That's
cartoons,
the evil. That's the Evil Dead running through it. It's just like that's what I mean. He even says, doesn't he? He even says groovy at one point. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the shotgun.
I love the Incredible Hulk bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's obviously trying to fight this monster. Can't. He's getting beat, and at some point, the TV with his dad's spirit in the TV.
He ain't got long though.
Until his face melts away. And he's like, "Use your weapons." So they're looking for weapons, and he realizes, "My real weapons, my muscles." And
there were parts of it as well that reminded me of Trapdoor. Like that old fucking ITV thing, I think. But I felt like at one stage I did write a stupid note. Was this a tax write-off so he could get ripped? You know, did he just come up, because it's him he's directed, he stars in it, and it's like, did he just think, fuck, I need to get fit, man?
Trust me, it definitely wasn't attacked right off. Trust me.
Oh, I'm going to pay myself for half a year so I can just get fit.
The bit where the woman sort of like is sort of like reincarnated, and then literally you think, oh, the woman, like the skeleton, and then obviously the organs are coming in, and the stop motion thing goes up the skeleton's nose, and then dude, just literally what is created out of it is fucking hilarious.
I absolutely loved that bit. I thought how you couldn't have made that look any more freakier, because it looked freaky because it was so bad. And it's just like, obviously, I thought, oh, it's going to carry on to turn into the actual woman. But no, it just stopped at that kind of halfway point where it's not fully formed, but formed. And it's just like the eyes and that is just the freakiest thing to look at.
And her big sausage fingers. And
the big
they're like
fingernails.
Hey, you guys.
Sloth's wife.
Sloth's wife.
it looked disturbing, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. Though. It's just that it looked so wrong that it works so well.
There is a real untapped Asian sort of horror market that we just haven't seen, and that we just need to sort of get into. You know, the obvious ones that we've sort of passed over to the sort of American audience. Have been good, but I've got a load of you. I know you bought me all those.
I bought you one. You watched it?
Well,
yet?
Mate, that one, the Robo Tricks that I've watched already was fucking fantastic. And I'm going to go down the rabbit hole now, because I really, really do need to start watching more of it.
There's one that Simon, who a regular listener of the pods, recommended, called Story of Ricky O. Apparently, I still need to watch it, and he's just said it's just crazy. I just can't wait to watch it. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, loved it. It was brilliant.
Me too. Right. Is there any Matt's facts? Is it anything you pulled out?
Yes, there is. And there weren't many, I can tell you now. And I had to dig deep for these, so bear with me. Okay, so obviously this was filmed in 1995, but it wasn't apparently released until 2012 on DVD, and the theatrical release in DVD was in Japan 2014. But there's all sorts of shit around this film, because Shinichi Fukuzawa is obviously the director. He's starred in it, did the effects, edited it, directed it, literally shot it in his dad's house. So that's his dad's house, but his dad was like, I'm going to knock it down, get rid of it. But he's like, whoa, don't get rid of it. Before you do that, can I shoot my fucking film in there? And he's like, yeah, go for it. That's why it looks so dilapidated and shit, apparently. All shot on 8mm, because he couldn't afford another camera. So, fucking fair play. And so, he filmed the movie once and realised when he got, obviously you don't have dailies, he didn't have no dailies or anything like that, so he couldn't look at the footage back. When he actually looked at the footage back, it was like, this is shit, I can't use any of it, it's rubbish. So then he had to go back and get the cast again, like, well, what little cast there is, and film it all over again. Now, obviously he's the main star in the movie, right? So there are moments where, if you look closely, he's got all types of stubble. 1 minute he's got like slight stubble, and then the next minute it's all gone, because he shot it over so much time that it's ridiculous. So all in all, it took him from filming it and getting it ready and everything, because it got turned over to digital so he could do all the other effects, 17 years.
Jesus.
What?
17 years.
How is that even possible? So what, he started it in like
1994, and it took him 17 years.
You mean months?
No, years. So it basically it didn't come out in 1995. It didn't come out then. It was his movie made, but he edited it, put all the special effects in. He had to re-digitalize it.
So that must be why he did all the photographs then, is it?
It must be. It must be.
So that's kind of fun. That means that makes it even better because it's like we could have
That's
just
what I
done
mean.
something. It's just a hobby and eventually it'll come out.
It's like if you look at his kind of IMDb, he's got one other thing called The Violator or Violator. And that's it. Nothing upcoming, nothing. But he did it all himself. And I just think, that's just crazy. How has this guy not done any others? But now you can't understand because that probably nearly killed him.
17 fucking years. That's fucking incredible.
Mad,
what a legend to be to sort of just like have that as like a hobby. He filmed it, but to get it out there, he's just constantly worked on it. And
the amount of crazy like Asian horror films and crazy Asian films in general, like, and he's got the tagline "The Japanese Evil Dead." He's done all right, hasn't he?
That's quality. That's really cool. That's made me like it. That's made me like it more.
I'll just read you this little blurb that I found on a website. Basically, so it began pre-production on Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell in 1995, writing his first draft of the script on New Year's Day. Production soon followed, and over the subsequent 10 years, Fukuzawa would shoot over 10 hours of footage on Super 8 film. Editing began in 2005 after the rough 8mm footage was transferred into digital video, but various issues in post-production would cause the director further delays. Undeterred by these frequent problems, personal debt and time lost, Fukuzawa would finally announce that Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell was complete in 2009.
Amazing.
Crazy. Madness. But that's massive respect.
Yeah, what a great pick, Will. Fucking ace.
So, we're going to rate this. Geordie Paul, you're looking a bit sheepish.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of... do you know what, right? I was kind of set at sort of 7, but I think after talking about it, I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
An 8 out of 10, which is like after 15 minutes, I was thinking this is going to be like a 2 or a 3, and I'm going to get like ran out of town for being a grumpy bastard again. But no, I think 8 out of 10.
9 for me.
Oh, B-Man's got it at 9.
Yeah, I bloody love this.
I love it when little gems like this just pop up, and thank you, Will, again for giving us this one, because I just love it when you just see things that are completely out of the blue and I've not really heard of it, but I'm so glad I have now because it's brilliant. I want to get it on Blu-ray. Fantastic, yeah, it's got to be a 9. It's got to be.
Yeah, amazing.
Just for the respect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That doesn't shock me in the slightest, lads. I knew after I watched that when these two are going to be buzzing over this.
And I'll be honest, I was really worried because I wasn't really obviously up on Destroy All Neighbours, and I was like, oh no, is this going to be a 1-2 punch? I really don't, I hope. And then when I started watching like the first 15 minutes of the movie from the vault, I was like, oh no. I was like, this is going to be a really hard episode. And I really don't want it to be bad. And then I just, knocked my socks off by the end of it. So, awesome. Brilliant.
Quality stuff.
So,
all right.
This brings us on to our next movie from the vault. Whose pick is it?
It is mine.
Oh, no, here we go.
Da, da, da. So, guys, I don't think any of us have seen this.
Oh.
I definitely haven't. I don't think you guys have, because we did sort of briefly talk about it before. And it was on In Search of Darkness. And it just popped up on Amazon Prime, and I was like, ooh. So, it's from 1981, starring Sam Neill and Isabel Adjani, and it is Possession.
Awesome.
That is a great... I've never seen it.
I have seen this. I've got the Blu-ray.
And
I'm going to love listening to you two talk about this. Because I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to relax and I'm just going to let you go for it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can't change my mind.
I mean, I have seen the rapey alien scene, so that's just wrong. What the fuck it is.
Good pick, mate. Because I mean, I don't even need to do any research on the facts because I've already looked up loads of stuff on this film. Because I had to. I was like, what does this mean? What's that? Oh my God. Yes.
Amazing. And it's on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay. Sam Neill. Well, that was a fucking corker. I enjoyed that. Episode 148. Really are moving forwards to 150. Thank you again, for everyone, for listening. Feedback. Give us some ideas and spur us on for 2024. Get in touch through social media if you want to come on and, berate us for an hour. That'd be fine. Moving on to episode 149, we will be going to the cinema to watch Baghead. Bring back another Something to Scream About. Come up with some fresh ideas for this year. And then move from the vault, 1981, Possession. Yeah. Now there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter @DrawOneLast, Instagram @DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at drawnelastbreathpod@hotmail.com.